Hi, welcome to the Revive, Thrive, and Optimize podcast. I'm Billy Weiss, compounding pharmacist and health and wellness expert. Really excited about today's show. I got my good friend, Mark Toney. Mark, how's it going, buddy?
All right. Glad to be here.
Mark, how long we known each other now?
Probably 1991-ish.
Yeah, it's been a while.
92.
Yeah.
Long time.
Yeah, known each other a long time. So
Yeah.
I really appreciate you coming in.
Absolutely.
So tell me, when did you first come to the OptiU Weekend Summit? Do you remember when you did that?
Yeah, it's probably been, it was 2016-ish.
Okay. All right. So we'd known each other since the early 90s,
Oh,
but
yeah.
you came through the summit in 16 or somewhere in there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So what was your biggest takeaway that first time you come through? I mean, I know it's a ton of information. What did you?
Well, just the type 2 diabetes thing. I've never heard that.
Right.
That you could.
That it's voluntary, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I mean, it can basically be cured in
Right.
2 weeks.
Right.
I never heard anything like that.
Right.
And then when you get to digging into these things, there's all kind of stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So it opened your eyes to there's ways our body can fix itself.
Well, I mean, my eyes had all, I've always had a lot of questions. I mean,
Right.
so many people on so many prescriptions and nobody ever gets fixed.
Yeah.
You're just on a prescription. And
then they add more prescriptions, right? I mean, that's
yeah. So
yeah.
I didn't have any answers, but I knew, this probably is not exactly right.
There's a better way. Just got to figure out what it is.
Right. Yeah.
And you know why the people don't get better typically on prescription drugs. 398 side effects for one prescription drug, according to the University of Stanford School of Medicine. So.
Yes.
When you think about that, it don't take long to figure out why it doesn't seem to work a lot of times, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, and it's unfortunately, I believe it's by design.
Oh yeah, I'm 100% with you on a lot of things on that. Yeah. I think that when you look at the system, the way that it's set up, and I've talked about this a lot, it's designed to succeed. But at that cost of it succeeding, the patients get failed, right?
Yeah,
the patients
absolutely.
get the bad end of that deal.
Yeah, that's a good.
But now, if you consider success that everybody's getting paid, the insurance company, the provider, the pharmacist, the PBM, the pharmacy benefit manager, they're all getting paid.
Yeah,
so
and
they
everybody's
consider
on
that a
prescription.
success. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know you before we were starting here, you were saying, how critical can I be? Well, I told you can be as critical as you want, right?
Well, yeah. I mean,
it is what it is. Statistics don't lie.
No, they don't. It's really, really sad. The people that are on prescriptions and for no reason, really. I mean,
well, and they don't really have. Some of them don't have or know a way out.
Right.
And a lot of them aren't looking for a way out, which
That's
is okay.
True. Yeah.
I tell everybody,
but a lot of people don't know.
That's correct. They don't know any better.
Yeah. But
yeah, we were talking about also before I sent you the study that just was published today that the latest shots that everybody was offered and told they had to get were actually responsible for 74% of the deaths from the thing you were supposed to take the shot for.
Yeah.
And that's a published research article. So
incredible.
Think about it. 3/4, they say, of the deaths from that were caused by the thing that was supposed to prevent it. Now, I don't know how you get much worse than that. Take this, and we say you have to take it, and then you look at the death rates from it, and you go, "My gosh, what are we doing to people?"
Yeah, and that's exactly what we did. I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think it was at some point by design at that certain level.
Yeah, it certainly makes you question it for sure, at the very least. Yeah. It does. Yeah. So you come through in 2016 or so. Yeah. You learned about type 2 diabetes and how it could be corrected. The body can correct it. God made our bodies to be healthy.
Yeah.
You started your supplements then, or were you already doing the supplements?
Yeah, we were doing a lot of the supplements.
That's what I thought.
Supplements before then, but not eating exactly, the eating part of it and the exercise, not as much.
Right.
But have been now we've been exercising pretty good for about 4 years.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And obviously the supplements.
And what have you noticed since you become more diligent at doing?
I was thinking about that today. The probably the number one thing for me, and it was a nagging thing all my life. I always had nagging colds and allergies, and different seasons, and they've been pretty much eliminated out of my life. I don't have, the head colds and stuff like I used to. If I do, it's
here and gone.
Here and gone. Yeah, it used to be. It would go and go and go, and I knew better, but I'd have to go and try to get a Z-Pack. But I don't even do that anymore.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's a big thing,
and that's a really important thing.
It is.
And that's
a huge thing.
Tells me that you have really got your gut health.
Gut health. That's right. Yeah. It's me and you were talking about it the other weekend. It's hard. It's hard to try to live a clean life as far as the way we eat. Yeah. Because the system is.
Yeah. Oh, it's very hard. When you look at we just don't have a lot of fresh foods as readily available as we used to.
No.
And the ones that we do, who knows what they've been sprayed with, right? Roundup, glyphosate, atrazine, who knows?
That's right.
And so we lose so much of those nutrients, which is why I think the foundational 4 are so critical to people today, is even if we're trying to do the best we can, we don't always get it nearly as fresh as probably our parents, our grandparents, their grandparents, certainly would have had it much fresher, much closer grown to home, if not their home, actually.
Yes, that's right.
So that makes a big difference for what we're up against today.
Yeah.
Mark, one of the things that I know you have said something to the effect when Beth and I have been over visiting or whatever, just tell us how you feel. What do you think as far as the way you feel? Now that you've gotten serious about everything, how do you feel?
Yeah, I feel the best I've ever in my life. The foundational 4, but also getting the protein. I was way under.
Woefully under, like almost everybody I meet, right? Until you hear it and we talk about it.
Just didn't know.
Right. Especially when you say you've been working out really diligently for 4 years, right?
Oh, yeah. We've been faithful to work out pretty much 4 days.
Right.
For this 4 years. Well, I did get pretty bad sick COVID.
Right.
And then we had started about a month working out really good, and then I got sick, and you remember I was sick.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember you had a really bad case,
So, after that, after I got better, we've been faithful.
But think about what you said, because I love the way you say it, and that's exactly how you told me and Beth that night. You feel better than you have ever felt.
Oh, absolutely.
You're older than you've ever been. I'm pretty confident of that, right? I don't think I can be wrong on that.
No, you got that one right.
But you feel, I tell people I feel 18 every day.
I do.
So that's the thing that we want.
Absolutely.
We're both over 50.
Yep.
But we don't feel it.
No.
We don't, we don't act like, I don't think either one of us act like we're over 50. We don't get around like we're over 50. We're active. We're able to do the things we want to do and enjoy life.
Right. And no prescriptions.
No prescriptions. No. Lord, no. It's crazy, Mark, you say that, but it's true. And my kids can tell you. I have 3 children, as you know. they've never seen a Tylenol, ibuprofen, and aspirin in our house.
Oh, I know.
There's 2 pharmacists in our house, me and Beth.
Yep.
Never had them in there ever.
Yeah.
We just don't do it. We don't believe in it. We don't take it. It doesn't mean it's wrong for other people to do that.
No, medicine.
But I am
medicine
not
is
doing
a
it.
Good thing. I get that.
Right.
But to get people on prescriptions and leave them on there, I don't know about that.
Well, Mark, what people don't realize is that every single prescription and over-the-counter drug depletes nutrients.
Right. Yeah.
So we're depleting vitamins and minerals that are critical to our body, whether it's an ibuprofen, acetaminophen, an aspirin. It is depleting things that our body needs to function properly. So I try to at least encourage people and educate people. If you're going to be on any of these over-the-counter prescription drugs, let's at least replace the things that they're depleting, right?
Yeah.
And that's the most simple thing that I think anybody could think about if they're going to be on some of those things.
Yeah.
But in most cases, just like with the type 2 diabetes you brought up earlier, if we'll just do the right thing, put the right supplements in, put the right foods in, take away the junk, we typically just see the body will fix itself.
It does.
Not from everything, but from most things.
Yeah, like, I've noticed, like on the heartburn deal. I mean, I used to have heartburn a lot. Never anymore.
Yeah. So probiotics and enzymes, again, your gut.
Yeah.
Same reason your allergies are better, I suspect.
Yeah, same reason. And I'm sure it has to do with the way I eat too. It's trying to eat clean. But
what's the lifestyle?
Lifestyle. There you go.
Yeah, the 5 pillars, right? And you're doing all 5. You're doing the God-given quality foods.
Trying.
The world's best nutritional supplements.
Yeah.
Water from a medical device. You bought your own. You have it in your house.
Right.
You install mine in my house. So, science-based exercise. You've told us you've been doing that consistently for 4 years at least.
Yeah, resistance.
And good sleep, right? Rest and recovery. Sleep.
Yep.
So how do you sleep with the magnesium?
Sleep good. We bought a new bed a couple of years ago. We're not all that happy with it. I'm not going to say which kind it is because I don't know if it's, it may not be their issue. Maybe mine. But I sleep all right. I sleep fine.
Okay. You don't get up in the mornings and feel tired?
No.
Okay.
No.
Good.
No.
Good.
My wife, she sleeps great.
Yeah, so she don't have any trouble sleeping, huh? Now, how's she doing? Speaking of Audrey, how's
really
she
good.
doing with all the? I mean, I know she's really tried to hone in on these.
She's doing
pillars too.
Doing fantastic. Yeah, she. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure she's lost some weight. She looks fantastic. She's doing really good. Yeah. Yeah. Really trying to focus in.
Well, I know you've been trying to ease her into more and more of it, and it seems like that it's finally. Yeah. Some people don't. No. They don't just jump right in. They got to kind of work their way up to it, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
As long as they're going in the right direction.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, she does seem like she's doing really good.
Doing really good.
The last few times I've talked to her.
Yep, she is. She's doing really good.
And now, do your kids?
They do.
Do they take some supplements?
Yeah, they're not as faithful as me and Audrey are, and we talked a lot, and but. They're hard-headed on some stuff.
They're young. I mean, it's going to be harder for sure.
Teenage
My kids
girls,
are the same way.
They got it all figured out.
Yeah. But that foundation will stick with them, Mark.
Yeah,
Because now when my kids...
they do. Now, my girls do exercise.
Yeah, that's good.
And Anna Grace, she says she's eating right, but I just,
you disagree.
Yeah. Sometimes.
Yeah. But the fact that they're active, that they're taking some supplements, maybe not as consistently as you'd like.
Right.
My kids, they had times where the same way growing up. But now that they're adults and married, they all, hey, can you bring me home the probiotics? Can you bring me home the vitamin D? Can you bring me home the magnesium and multi? So they've really got it in their minds now that's what they need to do.
Right.
My youngest is really, him and his wife are really, I mean, they are dead on it. I mean, they are on it, man. They might be. I told somebody, I think it was Stephanie, the last podcast, they might be on it more than even me and Beth at this point. They're so serious about it, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's really.
You see somebody 24 years old, that's that dedicated to their health.
Yeah.
It's going to make a huge difference when they're our age.
It is going to make a huge difference.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I wish I'd have known some of these things.
Me too, Mark. And I mean, I grew up in a family, and I'm not being critical of my family, but I mean, we'd come home from school and have Coke and Swiss cake roll or something. I mean, you know, or Nutter Butters.
That's what we did.
That's just the way it went. That's what you did. Now, we didn't eat a lot of processed meals. My mom did most of the cooking.
Yeah.
But our snacks were definitely just Chips Ahoy, Swiss cake rolls.
But it seemed like back then, though, we never heard that this might not be.
No, I don't think it was as well known. And I'm not sure that those products were processed with all the same things that they're processed with today either. So I don't think they were good for me. But they may not have been as damaging as maybe they are today.
You know, you remember when we were kids, you could buy a loaf of bread. And that loaf of bread in, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 days. It
was still fresh.
Well, nowadays, you buy a loaf of bread, that thing will, I mean, you could sit that thing in there for a month.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's preserved for sure.
Yeah.
You've seen the Big Mac.
Yeah.
You talk about preserved, right?
Yeah.
It hasn't changed a bit, has it?
Yeah,
I mean, I think that thing's over 10 years old. And it looks just like the day I bought it. Never been in the refrigerator.
Yeah.
And that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
I literally think somebody could microwave it and eat it and not miss a beat.
Probably could.
Yeah. I really believe that. And which is scary because in America today, they say that 70 cents out of every dollar is spent on processed foods. Think about that.
Wow.
When we think about the obesity, the overweight, the type 2 diabetes, the cancers, the heart disease, it's all driven by the stuff we're putting in us.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
And when you think about 70 cent out of every dollar.
I've never heard that.
Yeah, it's mind-blowing.
That is.
And 25% of Americans say the only vegetable they eat in a week is a French fry. Well, I got news for you. French fry ain't a vegetable. But that's where we've come, right? We think that, hey, well, I get my veggies. I eat my French fries from McDonald's or wherever, Burger King.
That's crazy.
So when you think about it and you look around and you look at the society that we become, just everybody's overweight, everybody's sick, everybody's obese, everybody's.
That's what got me. You know, obviously I've talked to you for years and years, but I mean, and you opened my eyes to a lot of stuff. But I mean, I've always known this something is not, you know, exactly right.
Well, it's not, Mark. And I had a customer of mine, really good customer of mine. His name Mark also. And he brought in a picture and wanted to show it to me the other day of his parents at the beach. And it was some big, his dad, you know, had a big company. And it was all of them. I mean, there was probably 100 people. Yeah, in the 60s or 70s. Yeah. And they're all in a bathing suit on the beach. The guys, you know, shirtless with their bathing suit. The women with their, really not bikinis, but bathing suits.
Yep.
Not a single overweight looking person in the whole bunch. And he's like, look at this, Billy. He's like, you couldn't find 100 people today if you tried.
No.
It looked like this.
No. That's it, yeah.
And so it really has changed.
I've seen a lot of those. I've seen a lot of those pictures.
Yeah.
People post.
Yeah.
1970s.
Yeah. To now.
Yeah.
And you think about it. What's changed? Well, we've been told not to eat any fat, not to eat any saturated fat, right? We've been told to eat more and more processed foods. High fructose corn syrup entered the market. Mm-hmm. We have seed oils all over the place, right? So the soybean oil, the canola oil, the you know, all those oils that are on the shelf. And so that's what we've done. And what's crazy is I was just reading a study where those omega-6 seed oils, they actually change the type of fat that we make. And our bodies are not equipped to burn that fat off nearly as efficiently as it can when we're eating butter and coconut oil and avocados and those kind of things.
Yeah.
And so it actually makes it really hard for our body to burn that fat off. And I'd never heard anybody explain it that way before.
Yeah. Let me ask you about the seed oil deal. I don't know. I don't know if this is the time to be asking a question.
No, great. Do it.
I was reading not too long. I obviously don't eat any seed oil anymore. But,
right.
And I used to, when I was out in the sun, I'd be out in the sun 5 minutes, and it seemed like I could get sunburned to where it was painful.
Right.
And I don't have any of that anymore. And I've read where seed oils were causing that.
It can contribute to it. And you know what
Really?
else can help? Seed oils can make you more sensitive to the sun.
Yeah, okay.
And not having enough saturated fat can make us more sensitive to the sun. But you're cooking with butter now, right?
Yeah, butter,
so I
ghee,
suspect,
coconut oil.
So some type of good quality fat.
Yeah.
So I think it's probably the combination of getting rid of the seed oils and adding back the good fats that help protect our skin.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is crazy, Mark. We don't think of it like that, right? We don't. Yeah. We know, hey, it might not be good for my inflammation and stuff, but we don't think of, what about my skin?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I obviously work outside a lot. I'm in the sun a lot, but
right.
I don't do any sunscreen.
Right.
But
I don't either, ever. By the way, ever.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But I used to, I was telling Audrey the other day, I used to get burnt, and it would.
Yeah, be painful.
Painful.
Yeah.
I never get that anymore.
Yeah. Well, that's crazy that you say that and ask that. That's a perfect question because it really is contributed a lot of times to the types of fat that we eat.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you can't get burned, but it means it makes us less likely to get burned.
Right.
And having, I know you're using your vitamin D, having optimal vitamin D. And so the cool thing about it, though, is with you being out without sunscreen on, a lot of people think that we're making a lot of vitamin D from the sun, and we're really not.
Mm-hmm.
But what we are doing is taking the vitamin D that we take in through the supplements, the vitamin D with Super K, and the sun actually helps us convert that vitamin D into a more active form.
Okay.
So it actually makes the vitamin D more effective.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that we're necessarily raising our vitamin D levels a lot with the sun.
Right.
Unless we, pretty well uncovered for the most part.
Yeah.
And out there long enough with no sunscreens on at the right time of the year where we live. Sun doesn't have the right angle all year long.
Right.
But it does make the vitamin D that we take more active. So being in the sun some is really good for us, especially.
Well, we try to do, to do a little bit
especially early in the morning and late in the evening.
Yeah.
When it's that more amber look coming along. So those are all really important things.
Yes.
So since you've been doing this more regular, what have you noticed outside of obviously the allergies you talked about? What have you noticed with your body composition? Have you seen big changes in that, or?
Well, other than just the way I feel. I mean, just the level of energy and
about the mental clarity.
Yeah, I was telling you the other day, I noticed my eyesight.
Yeah, has improved some.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what's going on with that, but I don't have to strain as bad. I do wear tubes to read, but that helped. Yeah, my mental clarity's good. I think Audrey would probably question that, but
well, you're running a pretty successful business, so I think you're doing okay.
I mean, it's got a lot of good help on that end, but yeah.
Well, and I mean, you talk about that, and we do have people that their eye doctors will call it reverse vision.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't necessarily say that, but
no, I'm just it's not unusual that you tell me you feel like your vision's improved.
Yeah, and I don't know, I don't know where that comes from, but I'm just telling you, it's gotten better.
Well, I think it's just a combination of everything.
Yeah, stamina, great. My stamina's really, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Balance, it's good.
Yeah, so when you start putting all these pieces of the puzzle in place, all these things that we don't think about. And Mark, I would tell you, and you know this, I think you've greatly reduced the risk of dying from heart disease.
Right.
You've greatly reduced the risk of having cancer. Doesn't mean we can't get it.
Absolutely.
But we're doing the things that we know would prevent most cases. We're less likely to have Alzheimer's. We're less likely to have osteoporosis. I mean, so not only do we feel great now, but we're less likely to suffer from those things later in life because, one of the things that I try to get people to understand is every cell in our body is replaced every 7 years. Now, some are replaced more than often than that, but we build a whole new skeletal system over about 7 years.
Yeah.
Now, imagine if I'm building really, really strong bones now, when I'm 75, I'm a lot less likely to break my hip than if I'm not building strong bones right now, right?
Correct.
Because think about it. If 7 years from now, my bones have gone down, let's just call it 20%, what's my next 7 years? Because I'm already starting in a 20% deficit.
Yeah.
Whereas if I'm not losing any, and we have people in their 90s actually gaining bone mineral density, think about where we're going to be 7, 14, 21, 28, 35 years from now.
Absolutely.
So I would like to believe that 30 years from now, when we're in our 80s, we're still
kicking
and going doing the things we want to do, right?
Absolutely.
Waiting on you and Audrey to get your RV so we can go RVing.
There you go. That sounds fantastic.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah.
What's the most important thing you want to tell everybody that's listening today? What do they need to do? What's your piece of advice to them?
It's not that hard. It's not, yeah, it is hard to quit the fast food and the junk, but it's not, it's not like I know whenever I me, I eat eggs and bacon every morning for years and years and years. No bread or no anything, gravy, anything like that. But then I started reading, learning about the intermittent fasting and stuff, and I'm like, there's no way I can go without bacon and eggs in the morning, but
you don't eat till after lunch. Just like we do.
Yeah, we eat about 7 o'clock, and then we don't eat again until like 12:30 the next day. Audrey hasn't been eating.
You're getting a 16-hour or so fast just about every day.
Yeah, and then it's just like it's nothing to it.
No, once you get used to it, it's just routine, right?
Yeah, but I used to think in my mind,
I'm gonna die if I don't eat my bacon and eggs.
That would be what I would tell people.
I think that's a great piece of advice. It's really not that hard. It's just really the matter of getting in a routine. And like I tell people I would never miss my supplements.
Yeah.
Like it's just part of my daily habits. I'm not going to miss my supplements.
No, I don't miss my supplements.
I'm not going to miss my workout. I'm not going to miss my water.
No.
So when you start doing that, people go, well, isn't it hard to do that? I'm like, it'd be harder for me not to do it.
Yeah.
When you get there.
Yeah, and and I know there's a cost, but people complain about the cost of it, but you're going to pay if you don't do some of these things. You're going to pay for prescriptions. You're going to pay for doctors. Well,
and you're not going to have the same outcome.
Right. That's right.
The outcome's going to be way diluted from what we're talking about.
That's for sure. So it's,
yeah,
it's like, how could you afford not to? That's
the attitude that everybody I think should have.
Yeah.
And I'm with you. It's way cheaper now to take care of yourself than it is to go down that road of a heart attack, a stroke, a blood clot, cancer.
Yeah, my dad, he used to tell me all the time about, health. If you got your health.
Yeah.
When you don't have your health.
Yeah. Well, I think about somebody, that maybe has plenty of resources, but they just let themselves go.
Yeah.
And they have all this ability to, I don't know, maybe have their own plane, their own boat, travel, do anything they want, but they can't because they physically just can't do it.
Can't do it.
And to me, I'd rather not have all that, but be able to do the things I want to do personally.
Yeah.
I just think investing in ourselves, I think is what you're saying is really important.
Yeah. And I try to talk to people, and I have a passion to
help.
Yeah. But it's you can't.
I know. We've talked about some mutual acquaintances and friends that just won't.
Yeah.
They won't get out of their own way, and there's nothing you can do about it. They're looking for something to be wrong with them, and some people, all we can do is give them information and pray that it helps.
Right. That's exactly right.
Mark, I appreciate it so much, man. Thank you for coming.
Glad
Thank you for telling your story. I know it's going to help people.
Yep.
And I love your 2 pieces of advice.
Absolutely.
Thanks, man.
All right.